Michael Jordan's the best basketball player ever.
Go
All right.
LeBron James.
Yeah. Screw LeBron James. That's going to be in it, by the way. All right, guys. My name is Senior Master Sergeant J.C. Roman, the Career Assistance Advisor here at Luke Air Force Base. To my left, I've got
Senior Master Sergeant Antonio Washington, lead of the 56 Fighter Wing, newly established diversity and inclusion team. To my left, I have
Master Sergeant Nicholas Jackson, Programs Manager of the 56 Fighter Wing Diversity and Inclusion Office.
you got it right this time.
yeah.
Good stuff, man. All right.
Welcome
So,
to the discussion.
yeah, welcome, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So we wanted to make something like this happen. We've been trying to make this work for the last couple weeks, trying to get this together, man. I think you guys are doing a great job in what you're doing. So with the diversity and inclusion team. So before we get all the way in it, I want to know what the purpose of this group is.
All right, so before we dive right in, I just want to make sure I give acknowledgement to Brigadier General Kreuter for making courageous steps to establish this team, Chief Master Sergeant Thompson for supporting us, as well as my teammates, Ms. Sharon Kozak. Many of the people across the wing know her for MRT. She's a very busy woman, got her hands in many pots. And then Major Dudley, 944th, he's a pilot on our team. And then even my teammates have stepped up so far as facilitators to support this team. And as an extension of this team, we really appreciate the support right out of the gate as we move forward as a diversity and inclusion team. So what are we here for? Our mission really is to make sure airmen feel equally welcome, valued, included when it comes to the 56 Fighter Wing mission, and that they feel as though their contributions to this team's effort in training the world's best fighter pilots and combat-ready airmen are appreciated.
I love how you slid that. I love how you slid that in right
there. But seriously, that everyone feels as though they have a voice,
Sure.
Especially when it comes to minorities. With that comes a certain level of engagement, celebration of the diverse cultures that are representative of our force and how we celebrate the strength that's presented and represented in all our subcultures in the Air Force.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad something like this is going on. I think with the things that are going on in the world, making sure we're having these conversations, and maybe we're not as far back as some people think. Maybe we're at a certain point, but I think promoting this type of environment where we can have these kind of conversations, and whether it's culture or sexist or whatever it is, we have a voice saying, hey, it is okay to have these type of conversations. Just make sure we understand and understand the personal side and the professional side of this whole entire thing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, which is good. So what are your, it's kind of a new program. I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, 5-6 weeks old-ish?
Yeah, about 6 weeks now.
About 6
June 12th was the first day I showed up to work.
So,
to do this.
Well, I was going to say, welcome to work, man.
Brand new airman, right?
You've been collecting a paycheck for the last 20 years, bro. Yeah. So seeing that it's kind of brand new, what are your first couple steps that you guys are doing to kind of bring this team together and make it a success?
I think the first thing is just to get in those environments within the squadrons to let them know that, hey, no matter what level that you work at, we all have various backgrounds. It's okay to have differences, but the main thing is we need to educate one another on what's going on. And the reality is that, minorities are not feeling valued or comfortable within the system that we have today, whether it's on the outside within the local communities, or if it's within the United States Air Force as a whole. So, being able to get everyone engaged in conversations, which we're doing a lot of facilitating within the squadrons, teaming with first sergeants, the chiefs group, getting on that same level of playing field to get them to keep that open mind and, saying, okay, it's bigger than just, the stripes that I wear or whatever it may be. Let's really dig deep and find out how we can address these issues as a whole.
Do you think one of the problems why this is kind of an issue? This is one of the things I like to hit a lot in FTAC, the Airman Pez's, the NCO professional enhancement seminars, and so on and so forth. And it's going to be one of the topics we're going to talk about for the senior NCO Pez. I think it's really, really important for us to have a professional relationship with folks. Like we need, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
but in turn with that, we have to have a personal relationship. Now
Yeah.
we got to understand the lines too. There's certain lines that we can't
Mm-hmm.
cross and so on and so forth, right? But having these type of conversations where we can BS and talk and say this and say that, you know, we can talk about certain things. It's a little bit easier when I know you,
Right.
when I know you.
Right. And even to that end, like from a leadership perspective, knowing a little bit about a person's background and culture, uh, really, I feel like it equips me to be a better leader
Yeah.
and pulling out the best of those airmen. Um, so many times we get, I guess, the habit of creating that personal relationship. Hey, did I check on them today?
Mm.
Check that box,
Yeah.
you know, and that's it, you know. But considering world events like things that impact people emotionally, maybe mentally,
Mhm.
like you know, in recent culture around the U.S. and around the world, you know, you had the George Floyd issue
Yeah.
and many instances relating to that, BLM movements. You have LGBTQ topics, anything along the spectrum of diversity and inclusion, where uh, subcultures within society or within the Air Force or DoD have felt like they haven't had a voice to really communicate how this is impacting me,
Yeah.
how this is impacting me on a day-to-day basis as I complete the mission, and that no one, maybe in their leadership change, because it's not impacting all airmen, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't all have the same environments, but maybe within their leadership chain, they're not being checked on to see how they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
That's where a lot of it goes to having that personal relationship.
right.
Right. Myself and Sergeant Jackson, we've known each other before he PCS'd out. We've talked. We kind of had a sidebar. I mean, I think it was the first day we met each other. I was like, "Yo, man!" So we started getting in, right? And we got to know each other, and you know, I have a great relationship with Sergeant Jackson, and same with you, and so on and
Right.
so forth. And I try to build those relationships.
Mhm.
I really do. I'm what's called a connector. I
Mhm.
like to connect with people, man. So I'll be like, "Oh, where you from? Oh, you from there, man? I was there once, right?" So now we got a connection. So every time I come talk to you, I know who you are. I know who you are, bro. Yo, man, you were in Korea, man, at the hump, man. I remember going to hump, man. Korea's amazing. So you start getting those things, and that's kind of the way I kind of bring folks in because I want to connect with people, and I know not everybody's like me.
And
See,
so
sir,
you,
that's the
I'm
thing.
wild.
But that's the thing, though.
yeah.
You alluded to it earlier. You know, I came in 02.
Mhm.
You know, it was nothing with me hanging out with my supervisor. You know, my supervisor inviting all the airmen over. We having a cookout.
Yeah.
You know, we knew
Commander
everyone.
find a keg.
I mean,
Yeah.
commander, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, on Fridays at the 56 Airlift
Mhm.
Squadron, we're all at the bar at Altus Air Force Base in the
Yeah.
squadron, all having drinks and doing everything, just having a great time.
Mhm.
Everyone cared for one another. But now you fast forward to now,
What happened?
what happened?
Right.
We don't
Yeah.
have that anymore. But it would be great to get back to that,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And I think it's great to have that mixture of old school and new school,
Yeah.
and intertwining with one another to.
I think it got kind of scary, man, there for a little bit, where people didn't want to do those things anymore. They weren't sure about how I should act in front of people and do this and do that, and just made things kind of difficult.
Mhm.
I always go back to uh, my deployment days. Like
Mhm.
I did convoys, man.
Mhm.
Like I didn't. They gave me a team. I didn't get to pick my team.
Right.
Right. There was Puerto Ricans on another team. There's some black folks on another team. Some white folks over here. Some Asian, whatever it was, girls, guys, whatever. Um, and I don't care, man. I don't care if you're black, white, brown, trans.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter to me. I need to make sure, especially being in our culture, I gotta make sure you got my six, man. I got
Exactly.
yours. I want to take
Exactly.
care of you. And I think not all career fields maybe think that, but in my career field, I know some of the old timers like myself, man, I don't care what color you are. Take care of me, I'll take care of you. I always want to be good to you. And that's the kind of culture we end up building. And that's why I think sometimes when people get deployed, they end up having that, oh man,
Mhm.
that don't matter what. You don't even know that crap is going on.
Exactly. I
But
think that's a great segue to talk about our mission
Mhm.
statement. Because the Diversity Inclusion team is here to ensure Luke Air Force Base's culture and climate aligns with the ideals of the Air Force core
Hmm.
values. And we all know those: integrity first,
Yep.
service before self, excellence in all we do. And we also foster an environment of dignity and respect and inclusion, uh, where where policies, processes, and standards and programs are unbiased in respect to anything
Hmm.
along the spectrum of diversity. Because what you asked, what we've had to do, in the early stages of establishing this team is really dispel some of the myths
Hmm.
about diversity and inclusion. uh, Timing is everything.
Yeah.
Right now, there is a world focus on race relations, but particularly in the African American community. But the diversity and inclusion team is not about black and white. Uh, it's about uh, age, gender, religion, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status. Uh, if a young airman got promoted and now outranks the staff sergeant they used to train
Hmm.
him, there's going to be a age
Yeah.
disconnect
Yeah.
there. Like, is that staff sergeant now going to be able to report to the airman that once he trained? You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And make sure that our culture uh, is postured in a way that people feel comfortable with addressing these topics at the lowest level possible. And that's what General Croyer's intent is in establishing this team. And he made it one of his top priorities
That's
during
awesome.
his command. Um, and he's also wanted to empower leaders at the lowest level, squadron commanders, group commanders, to engage on a regular basis with their teams and have meaningful conversations to cultivate cultures
Hmm.
within their respective organizations to where airmen feel they have a voice to communicate wrongs, injustices, anything that precludes them solely based on a difference from having opportunities, being promoted, being over um, or punished
Yeah.
too adversely when it comes to NJP, um, uh, and empower those leaders to handle those at their level as well. And that's kind of why the team is here to help filter down those tools
Hmm.
from half from 19th Air Force. But in addition to that, we're here to channel things up.
Yep.
If you notice a policy, uh, there are situations in your organization where DNI is not fully implemented, communicate that up.
Yeah.
But we're not DNI police. We're not out walking around.
DNI
Like,
bag.
look,
Yeah.
this look like an issue for
Yeah.
DNI, right?
Yeah.
So that's not what we're doing. We're here to help celebrate the cultures that form our force and make us stronger.
Yeah.
And
You
not
know.
only that too, but we're not. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to have differences. We're not here to change people's values, morals, or beliefs. That's what make you who you are.
Yeah.
That's what make you diverse. It's just again a matter of educating one another and seeing it from both lenses.
Hmm.
And avoiding those social behavioral tendencies and assumptions,
Hmm.
stereotypes, and recognizing that hey, we do have blind spots
Yeah.
that we need to sit up
Yeah.
here and recognize and to get our point across and say, okay, let me not be closed minded to certain topics and create that safe place to create these
So
environments.
you talk about blind spots, right? Sometimes we don't see our own blind spots, and I think the DNI group, I think it's out there to educate that too. That not only maybe it's your chief, maybe it's your senior, maybe whoever it is, your airmen see certain blind spots
Hmm.
while you might not. It
Right.
gives them kind of the voice and opportunity to voice things correctly, right?
Exactly.
Right.
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 And come forward and have say, hey, this is a problem.
Yeah.
You can sit down with folks. I sat down with one individual a couple months back, and he's like, it's like, do I have a blind spot? I'm like, yep, yeah, you got a blind spot, bro. Like, we work on that blind spot, and now
Exactly.
right? But it wasn't anything that he felt I was being malicious, or maybe I was trying to throw him in under the bus, but something that we felt comfortable because I had a relationship with him too. So I think that relationship, man,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah.
it is.
And so, it's
Comparative.
funny. I'm getting a little personal. You know, I my wife reminds me that I know how to pump my press at the house. Talk about all the great things that Dad does.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, we tend to um, I, we tend to walk with blinders on
Mhm.
in regards to our own mess.
Yeah.
And another great thing about my wife is that she turn the spotlight right on it. You know what I mean? So
With the
I'm
quickness.
I'm well aware of my shortcomings,
Yeah.
but I love her dearly. Love you tomorrow.
You guys are there to help each other out, right?
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Help each
So
other out.
you think about a husband-wife partnership. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like we the DNI team, we're here to partner with organizational leaders. We're also working with corporate sponsors,
Good.
local leaderships as well, uh, to create opportunities to bridge understanding. Because like Sergeant Jackson said, I'm not entering into let's say, a DNI discussion with someone where we're talking about any type of biases or
Hmm.
anything like that. Like, I'm not going into that conversation and I'm ready to convert you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
help me understand why you have the position you
Hmm.
do. And we may not change our position, but at the end of the day, we understand and we can agree to disagree. And I can work with you
Yeah.
better as a wingman or lead you better as a supervisor because I have a better understanding of
Yeah.
who you are at the core.
And it
So,
goes back to what you keep saying over and over is building that relationship because we have airmen, and I'm only speaking Luke specific. We have airmen that, whether they have this uniform or not, will go through different things once they leave out the gate
Hmm.
compared to what other people may experience and
Yeah.
go through. And if we're not willing to assist and aid in trying to find out what's going on, how are we actually trying to help or solve that problem?
Yeah.
So
hmm
I think as we peel the onions back and
hmm
peel off those layers, we can finally get to the root cause. And in Nicholas Jackson's honest opinion, I
Hmm.
truly believe Luke Air Force Base is headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is what we needed in order to get the ball rolling when
And
it
it's
comes
a,
to DNI.
some places don't even have issues or maybe a problem, but by having these type of conversations and doing these things, we're going to exceed. All right, we're going to start getting better, and it's about
Absolutely.
always getting better. We don't want to stay stagnant. When you're part of a group, and let's say you join a group, I don't want to just keep them here. I want to go here. I want
Exactly.
to go higher, right?
Right.
Maybe there wasn't any problems before.
Right.
That's cool, but you got that other mindset now. Hey, let's progress. So
Exactly.
again, maybe it's all about getting better. And I think
Right.
by having this group, it's going to make everybody at this wing a lot better.
hmm
It's going to let people know, hey, you know what? We have a blind spot.
Yeah.
Maybe I probably need to start building relationships with people,
hmm
right? And during our personal and professional relationship course that I speak about, and we had one of our videos with Sergeant OB and Sergeant Gilbert,
Yeah.
Great
calling.
episode, by the way.
I love that one, man. It was so much fun. It was our segment. It was good.
Yeah.
But we talk about having those personal and professional relationships. And my mom and dad, I call them mom and dad, and we still can be personal and have these cool conversations and have a great time. But at the end of the day, we're still mom and dad. So we can still have relationships, right? And it's still Senior Roman, it's still Senior Washington, it's still Master Sergeant Jackson, and we can still have a good time,
Exactly.
Right.
right? So
Exactly.
I think that it starts. That's where it starts. We have to build those type of relationships and understand you're just not a pawn.
Right.
You're part of my family, man.
hmm
And I don't care what uniform you're wearing. I don't care uh, uh, what it is. I want to help people out. I
Yeah.
want to take care and be good to people. And I think that's the right step. And I'm glad you guys are doing something like this to make
Right.
sure that we're having that type of
You
culture.
again, going back to the core value service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, no matter where you are in the rank structure,
Hmm.
part of your core, you serve.
Yeah.
So we're here, to serve the men and women of Luke Air Force Base. And again, for those that feel as though they don't have a voice, give them a voice.
Yeah.
Um, our org box is up and functioning. They're part of
What's the org box?
56 Fighter Wing Diversity underscore Inclusion Team, uh, extension 4519.
Say it again. All
4519
right.
extension
He
4519.
threw a 5 in that first. I was like, man,
Yeah,
we
I had
go
to,
in,
I had
man.
to, I had to dress it up. Extension
All
4519.
right.
But yeah, reach out to our office
All right.
if if they wanting us to come out and help facilitate the discussion
Sure.
because the hard discussion, right? It's been promoted, popularized, like
Hmm.
you see it on the Air Force portal. Engaging in meaningful discussion. I guess trending across any search engine. You
Yeah,
guys is diversity
you
and
can find it
inclusion
right
right
away.
now.
Yeah.
Really engaging in the diversity and inclusion topic. Um, so what our office offers is, if you're uncomfortable with having that discussion in your organization, either a small group, large group, whatever, we can come and help facilitate
Good.
those discussions for you. We also have tools for those that are willing to attempt it on their own that have been vetted through, passed down from HAF,
Hmm.
19th Air Force, to disseminate across the wing and through our facilitators as well to help engage in the conversation at the lowest level in within the organization.
Yeah. Good.
Um, you got anything you want to
As
add?
far as tools, I would like to do a quick plug if you
Shoot.
don't mind. Um, this diversity and inclusion office, we're the lightning that strikes twice.
Wait.
I want to sit up there and say, but no, a quick plug to Chief Master Sergeant Janae Wesley for giving us the tools necessary in order to incorporate that here at Luke Air Force Base. She's been a vital part in assisting and aiding our diversity and inclusion office here at Luke
Good.
Air Force Base. So, Chief Master Sergeant Janae Wesley, thank you very much.
Awesome, man.
Honor.
I'm gonna have to add her to the group so you can see that.
Oh, of course.
Actually,
Yeah,
when I post it, man, you can post it. You do whatever you need to do, man.
Tag her.
Yeah, tag her on there. Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming in today, or at least me coming over and having this. I know we've been talking about it for a little while now. You guys have only been open
First
for
committee.
5, 6. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll come through and do this more often. I like having these type of conversations, and
Yeah.
whether it's going to be on camera or it's going to be in person, man. I think we always grow, and that's what I like to do. I like to help people grow. Not that they're bad now, but I'm trying to always progress. Whether it's a book that I'm reading or something like that,
Exactly.
I feel like I'm pretty good, but I can get better, right? So this is a great group that you guys can make the 56 Fighter Wing a lot better by getting in and speaking with folks and doing these things instead of I hate the emails, right? Not you. I'm just saying just in general. Like,
Right.
hey, how about we go and talk to some people,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
You want me to be part of this team? Come talk to me.
That's one of the funnest, if that's the word, like part of
Yeah.
what we do is we actually get out and get to talk to
Mm-hmm.
people. We get to see a lot of times the results,
Mhm.
But I can tell you, just surface level, most of these situations, this is probably the first time
Yeah.
they've attempted to touch the topic of diversity and
Mhm.
inclusion. So people are still tentative in general. Um, but that's the intent. As we move the ball forward to where that becomes part of the culture, part of the fiber of what we do on a day-to-day basis, as we build teams across the wing, is engaging in these
Yeah.
conversations when necessary. Of course,
Yeah.
you don't want to just randomly be talking. You get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like in a meaningful way across the wing to where we create space for airmen to feel safe to communicate their needs up to their leadership and feel.
Or at least have some sort of guidance, right? They can come to you. I'm an airman. I'm like, man, I got this thing going on. Let me go talk to Sergeant Washington, Sergeant Jackson.
Yeah.
Hey, Sergeant Jackson, what do you think about this? And at least you guys have that experience where you can say, hey, you know what? Maybe let's look at it. Let's peel the onion back. Is this really a diverse? Is it what's the problem? And then from there you can move forward.
Right.
So that's one of the things that we do at FTAC too, and in our building. We get folks that get in trouble. They come over and come see us, like, man, this is crap. I can't believe I got in trouble. I'm like, oh, you screwed up. You got in trouble. So like, really? I'm like, yeah, you screwed up.
Yeah.
So having that type of environment where somebody can come talk and feel comfortable, like, ain't no repercussions.
Yeah, and that's
Let's
the
just
thing.
talk.
Like trying to clarify, extremes, like
Yes.
isms, like racism, sexism, or whatever, versus bias.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm just used to being around it,
Yeah.
and defining where those type of biases, preclude, like I said, preclude someone from an opportunity.
Yeah.
Then that's something you have to take a step back as a leader and look at that and say, oh, well, I need to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe
Makes sense.
before I move forward, because you want to make sure you have the best airman when we talking promotion.
Mhm.
You want to make sure you give adequate punishment when you're talking about NJP,
Yep.
and you want to make sure that all subcultures within your organization, while I probably wouldn't attend, and this is not a statement of my
Hmm.
position. I probably wouldn't attend a pride parade. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't support my
Sure.
airmen that may be gay, transgender, or
Hmm.
whatever the case may be.
That makes
So,
sense.
And I just think we're thankful for the opportunities too,
oh yeah,
and we're going to throw you in there as well, sir. We spoke numerous times.
Hmm.
Say, hey, FTAC,
Hmm.
Airman Pass, NCO
Yeah.
Pass,
right, like
CNCO
Yeah, they're
Pass.
coming
opportunities.
in.
Yep, right,
You've been on us,
Yeah.
and I think creating that space to get that in there, and the FSS as a whole, the Airman Leadership School team.
oh yeah,
So we
Yeah.
just did a virtual
yeah. We just did a
for
virtual one with them.
Yeah.
Airman Leadership
Yeah,
School, 51 students, and I mean it hit home for a lot of
Good.
people. So
yeah,
I think just by engaging with those organizations and with our frontline supervisors, I think it would be it's going great, just like
Good.
you said, and we're gonna get there.
Good.
We're gonna get
yeah,
there.
yeah, and getting them early too.
Yeah.
Like you say, FTAC is timings,
Yeah.
everything.
I sit with them every single FTAC class. I have one tomorrow that I'm going to do, and we'll sit down and I'll talk to them. Hey, let's have
Yeah,
some real conversations.
right,
Exactly.
right,
Let's do this. So,
Exactly.
right.
and we talk about personal relationships and professional relationships and understanding how to separate the two and
Mhm.
when the right time. Because there's a time and place for everything, right?
Exactly.
So I think this is huge. Is there any other topics you want to?
Well, I know you had asked, kind of where we're headed.
Yes.
Short-term goals.
What's the long term? What's the end game of this, man?
Well, the end game goes back to the vision statement. Make sure we have a culture climate where all airmen feel valued, included, and invested. Really in this wing's mission because of the felt uh, inclusiveness.
Yeah.
In the wing's mission. As an airman or as a person.
Hmm.
So the goal is to take us from current state where everyone's maybe a little tentative about how valued they are as a part
Yeah.
of this team, and take us to the end state where
Yeah.
every airman values his and her wingmen and the leaders that uh, lead them in a non-biased way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Any last words, Sergeant Jackson?
Just thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, man.
This is the way.
It is. It is. So we'll continue doing this, and maybe in a couple months we can kind of do another one and kind of see where we're at and what kind of steps are moving forward and how we're progressing.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Just real quick
Shoot.
plug though. So our diversity and inclusion team is working with Wing PA
Good.
to create a video series on diversity and inclusion. So if anyone out there is interested in sharing your story, please hit us up. Hit our order box. I gave it to you early. 56 Fighter Wing diversity _ inclusion team. Or call our office at extension 4519, and we'll be willing to include you in that process as well. I look forward to working with each and every one of you, and thanks so far for all the support. And let's keep the momentum moving forward.
And we're at building 461 next to the Fighter Wing
There
headquarters
you go.
building in room 111.
Where the safety dude is.
Yes, safety dude.
I like the safety dude,
The
man.
safety dude.
Safety dude.
I know the safety dude since 04, man. He's been. I haven't seen him with his hat though. He's not wearing his hat.
He be out there with his hat
Yeah.
on sometimes.
He got to it this
He
year.
got that good hair. Yeah, he's good, man. Well, you know what's funny? I haven't done this in a while because Sergeant Caballero, I usually put him in, man, at the end of every video, but he's funny, man. He goes to he's awesome, man. America. Yeah, I love that guy. He's awesome. He'll be putting Chief on pretty soon. I'm not sure when he's putting it on, but maybe December.
Awesome.
He's bad. I like that guy. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Again, Sergeant Jackson, Sergeant Washington, I appreciate what you guys do, and hopefully we can keep on pushing forward and make this a better success than what it is.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Cool.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Hey, let's remember the three things that we hold true: America, freedom, and fitness. Bam, 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 bam.